Hi everyone and welcome back to our podcast. Today is all about genuine parts and OEM, so original
equipment manufacturer.
Thank you. I always think that it doesn't really ring a bell, original equipment manufacturer.
Maybe
OEM.
It's an age thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Genuine parts is like, well, everybody's got those.
Yeah, well, everyone says they have.
Well, they have. This is the whole point. Gosh, already so on point.
Well, I'm on the ball. Oh, God. Brilliant. Right, so again, working through the website, industries, again, really scary numbers. I think that's definitely the theme of counterfeit and theft and everything that we do in our world.
I think this particular one, though, is particularly scary because in the traditional meaning of original equipment manufacturers, you're going to have your parts, your components, which go into aircraft engines, which go into bodies and cars, anything that's got, and they're transporting people, and it's serious.
Well, I think especially it's sort of poignant at the moment because of the Boeing saga, where the whistleblowers in Boeing keep magically being killed. They're just dying after they mention the problems and the quality, the lack of quality checks.
No blame culture there. Then.
Yeah, no blame culture, completely anonymous. And then which it is anonymous until these people then go to the news because they're not getting reacted to. And Boeing are still churning out parts that
not great.
Yeah, it's not great. And so these whistleblowers then they suddenly die.
Oh dear.
There's 2 so far.
Oh gosh.
And it's coming. I shouldn't say, but it's like a bit of a running joke on social media because it's just a bit odd that nothing's really happening as it seems with Boeing.
Right.
But we don't know if it's true or not.
No.
But the news set is.
Got to be ever so glad for your Airbus right now.
Yeah, they'll be happy. Yeah. But basically, point being that in airlines, aviation and stuff, especially, that the lack of genuine parts or lack of traceability is causing a huge issue. So when there's problems with the engines and with the planes, then they don't have traceability all the way back to say, well, it is a genuine part. It's not from some sort of back alley in the middle of nowhere going into a plane carrying thousands of people.
Yeah.
But actually,
there's so many components there, from the air conditioning units.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's not just. I mean, even the fuel pipes. The whole every individual system that goes into a plane, a train, an automobile, literally any system.
Well, I think I read this thing about Formula One the other day, and that Williams used to work on an Excel spreadsheet, our favourite. And they had all their parts in this spreadsheet, and it was called they had this funny name, like this master sheet that they ran their business from, and tens of thousands of parts. And then you think of an aeroplane, it would be even more. Yeah, it's amazing.
And you've got your top tier, you've got your first tier, your second tier, your third tier suppliers, and all of these people have to comply. And they say you have to be ISO, you have to have a quality process, you have to have all of these things. And they do check.
Yeah.
But they check the company that says they've made the part.
Yeah,
not necessarily when the part
chain
comes in that it came from that company.
And that's all of what we're doing now, of course. So like our ISO is now the UCAS accredited ISO.
Absolutely.
And we didn't know that was a thing.
Congratulations.
But people were copying the ISO certificates, whereas UCAS accredited ones, that goes on a database and it's all a lot more secure, and then you can actually check that someone has done their ISO process properly, not just made it up. And it's the same thing with like your CTPAT and your all these security organisations.
Yes. And if you've got a security accreditation, is it for the actual thing that you're saying you've got it for?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And your EcoVadis, human rights, labour, sustainability.
Yes.
And that is looking at the whole supply chain. I mean, literally, they turn over every stone. Yeah. And you have to be clear and clean and straight.
So all of the company, actually the manufacturing company, like ourselves, are doing all of these bits.
Yeah.
And then the parts go off in a supply chain.
Somewhere.
And then the fun starts.
Yeah.
And when the part arrives at the factory where they're going to use it, they don't know, because how would they know whether it's come from the authentic delivery?
How can you, at what point do you just trust that that's accurate? So we go back to our supplier and then we ask them to go back to any sort of pigment suppliers or plastic pellet suppliers, and you have to keep going back and back. And the expectation is that you go back sort of 4 or 5 tiers to make sure that everything coming through is safe and
when it arrives, you've got all the paperwork, you've got your delivery notes, you've got all of the stuff that says it's from that place. But the actual component is still quite vulnerable.
100%,
It doesn't need to be vulnerable.
No, and that's where we come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think sort of just for scale, $1.2 trillion of losses.
I can't cope with that number when it gets that big.
It's like hard to comprehend.
I get my head around the $1 billion thing.
Yeah, we can just
about,
get there, but trillion is just a bit unreal as it comes. Yeah. Our counterfeit in the OEM electronics and engineering sector.
You haven't even talked about electronics, have you?
No. Yeah, so I mean, and of course you've got all your, big consumer electronics at home. You've got your Dysons, you've got your Apple, you've got Samsung, like all of this also
really, that only ever comes up in conversation at Christmas, doesn't it? When people are saying don't buy these goods unless they've got all these certifications.
Like your PlayStation 5s, your Xboxes.
Because they could blow up on you or whatever. And don't do your hair with these curlers.
Straight as like burning through hair, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, OEM and genuine parts is a very broad term because, again, where we say, okay, tamper evidence touches every industry, OEM and genuine parts also.
It really does.
So, it's a massive topic, and I think it's one to go, okay, I have a customer in pharmaceutical or cosmetics or aviation, what can we then look at within OEM and genuine parts there, rather than going, I'm going all in on.
See, to be perfectly honest, the chemical and the food world, they have the track and trace quite well enforced.
Really well, yeah.
I mean, if you look at, is it I can't say it now, the pharmaceutical one, the AIPIA.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Are literally from the growers in the fields, and it gets traced and weighed and measured and bagged there. And then it just comes all the way through.
And they monitor that entire process.
They monitor everything. Yeah. Not any unruly ingredient goes in. Yeah. So they are managing it. So it is a manageable system.
100%. The thing is, it costs more money and it takes more time. And then it's where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. And if you don't need to, you won't. And that's what's happening, isn't it? And at the end of the day, if you can just, rather than using a tape gun and applying standard tape, just swap it to tamper evidence. Yeah. There is more cost, yes, but there isn't more time. No. And actually then later on, when you haven't got any problems that are coming up, you're saving on that money that you would lose there in what you've spent already here. Yeah. So it works out as a cost saving in most instances when we do analysis, actually.
Absolutely.
So, the global population is growing, and with it, the demand for new products. OEMs are constantly developing the new products to meet this demand. So each year we're looking at a 5% growth in new products flowing into the existing genuine parts supply chain. We do like
stuff, don't we?
We love a gadget.
We're really into stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Internet of Things, and it is all about the latest gadget I mean, they talk so much about landfill and recycling and reusing, and it's just not
Well, we
translating.
have a fast fashion culture, and it all comes through, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying the other day I went into the same retail outlet that I'd been into probably 4 weeks ago, and the whole shop was different. The whole shop was different. And I was like, what's going on here? It doesn't give me time to think if I want something. No, it's gone.
The normal buyer, they're like, oh, well, every week I'm going to a different shop, but it happens to be the same same shop.
Fascinating, absolutely
it's
fascinating.
Unbelievable.
And everybody's got to have a new phone come out every year, and the whole thing, it's all about new stuff.
Well, whereas we as a family don't have automatic upgrades, when a phone breaks then we get the new one, and that's how we work. But most people, of course, they're on a plan, and then as soon as the new one comes out, you just upgrade straight away. It's amazing, really.
Yeah.
Now, our hairdryers just broke this morning, speaking of consumer electronics.
Oh my goodness.
The noise.
Whew. Did it smell?
Or it nearly smelled. I turned it off in time. It was like grinding.
Oh, that's not
Didn't
good.
know a hairdryer could do that.
No.
But it's lasted 5 years.
Well,
and it was
good.
£15 at the time.
Excellent.
So I haven't looked yet what that... It'd probably be 45 now for the same thing.
Was it branded?
Tresemme.
Oh, gosh.
It was like Argos's finest.
Special.
Yeah. Funny. So, the WHO in India said that there was 36,000 fatalities due to counterfeits. Deaths and 1.5, and that was for deaths, fatalities, obviously. And there was 1.5 million injuries, words out, were linked to defective counterfeit parts.
I remember having a conversation with Chester about this, particularly for parts for tractors.
Yes, yeah.
And combine harvesters and things like that, because if they're out in the fields, a lot of them now have electronics that tell them where they are and tell other people where they are as well. Those can also be defective, but the parts, if they're threaded the wrong way, or they can react back. It's not just they stop working; they can cause problems.
Like it can cause a fire.
And these guys are all on their own.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous. So it's actually really important. It's not only thinking about the fact that if an aircraft goes down, there's hundreds of lives of loss. It's the individual ones. It adds
100%.
up.
Well, because actually it's perfect example, because in this case the WHO went on to say that 20% of all road accidents may be attributed to fake vehicle components. And of course in a car, most of the time people are on their own in a car and you wouldn't have a clue.
And I have to be honest, when it comes to replacing things on a car, I do tend to think, goodness, that's a lot of money.
100%.
And
100%.
can I get a cheaper quote somewhere else?
Yeah. Do I need the branded one, or can
yes.
I? And that's
is that
the
covered
thing.
by warranty?
Yeah. and that is the truth, because of course, if we spend our day to day saying, okay, you need the genuine part, you need the branded one because you're getting all these extra things. And it's like the perfumes. We were having, probably everyone has seen on Instagram these adverts for unbranded versions of the same perfume.
Yes,
copied.
I can't even imagine what they smell like on your skin.
To be honest, they smell fine.
Do they really?
They smell fine. They don't smell the same. It's like an equivalent, let's say.
Okay.
But they're...
So it's a new perfume?
Yes. We did say, rather than just saying, oh, it's X brand's thing, just say it's like this.
Yes.
And it is like it, but it's not the same.
No.
But the smells last a long time. They're £20 for a big bottle rather than 80 or £100.
Oh, well,
so it is a massive difference, exactly.
Yes.
And we spend our day-to-day saying, well, you need the branded good, it's worth the extra money because, you're putting it on your skin and you're making sure you're safe and there's no consequences. And then in the instance of going to be a buyer, a consumer at home, it's like, God, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And actually you have got all these other things that still come into it. How do you know that it's safe?
Well, cost of living crisis is affecting everybody.
Exactly.
It's affecting businesses as well as individuals.
Exactly. And there is a side to just being ripped off by the brands. But on the same hand, when it's touching your skin, when you're going in a car, the brand is obviously going to be worth it for your safety.
We got brainwashed very early on, didn't we, about the importance of having good tyres.
Yes.
Because obviously we knew someone that sold tyres.
Yeah.
And that was very sort of,
It's
really...
always back to safety, isn't it?
Those are the four things that touch the road. Therefore, that is the most important thing. If you can only invest in one thing, make sure it's your tyres.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yes, good call.
Yeah.
Hadn't gone there.
And it's the same with the perfume, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you spray it directly on your skin.
And you breathe it in.
And then what, do you want to just come out in like a rash? Like,
no.
Do you know what's in it? No, you definitely don't know what's in it. You've seen an advert and you've gone, oh, it saved me £60. So is £60 worth of red rash? Probably not.
Do you know, I haven't seen this. My feed's so different to
You
yours.
will now. Gooey. Funny. So, yeah, then sort of the last big statistic that we've got, as shown on our website, is that businesses demand that supply chains enhance the customer experience as their component of their track and trace digital business strategy.
Yeah.
So, 83% of businesses are doing this, and of course that's a big part of our whole message.
And absolutely, and I think even the guys that are trying to do it as well as they can, if they just put a tamper evident label or a tape, I think the boxes that they go out in, that would be great, because that would deter the counterfeiters and the fakers into somewhere else.
Yeah.
But on the actual boxes as well.
Yeah.
Because if a component comes out of a actual, the boxes are beautifully branded, for example, Land Rover written all over it, JCB written all over it, absolutely beautiful. But they are just open. You just open them. So anybody, and it isn't the brand's fault.
No.
But they could easily have them replaced.
Straight away, I mean, we all know that packaging can be copied super, super easily. So the best thing to do would be to just keep your packaging cheap and cheerful.
Yeah.
Get the quality you need, but don't get it printed. And then get all your clever stuff.
Doesn't need to be a white glossy box.
No, get all your clever stuff printed on the tamper evident label, because we're not charging extra for it.
And then you can have your QR code, you can have your sequential number, you can trace it back to when it was made in the factory.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to ask the supplier then.
No.
The information's on the label.
And we literally, we don't charge for black print. You have a one-off cost for a print plate. Other than that, we don't charge for the print.
And the
subsurface, we don't charge for that.
You could have the name of the brand. You could have JCB protected, or whatever.
Completely unique, authentic protection, and it's quick and easy.
And as we've been saying in conversations, it's still a label. It's the same, but it's different.
Yeah, yeah. Well, our new sort of thing that probably everyone that's listening to this will sort of see more about coming up in the next weeks and months is we saw a customer a few weeks ago, and it was very funny. We were talking about pallet tape, and he said, how much is the pallet tape? So I said, well, you could sell it for X amount, let's just say £10, for a roll of pallet tape. And he was like, oh, that's really expensive. I said, what are you comparing it to? There's literally nothing to compare it to. And he was like, oh, well, I don't know. I was like, and that's the point. He's like, okay, it might, £10 is £10, one pallet of goods is definitely worth more than £10, even if it's only worth 100, which I can say it won't be. It'll be worth 1,000
at least. It depends where it's going,
least.
what journey it's going on, doesn't it?
It's probably worth a minimum of £1,000.
Yeah. So
£10 to secure it is not a lot of money.
No, to speed it up through customs, to get it to where it's going.
And that's the thing, to enhance brand awareness, speed up through customs, stop the counterfeit and theft, make your customers and consumers feel better.
Yeah.
Drive the brand, word
£10.
of mouth. It's not worth £10.
Okay.
Yeah. And then afterwards he's like, okay, I get your point.
Well done. Well done.
But it's true, we're not. Apples and oranges are both fruit, but they're different. And we were saying, about cars, if you have a Range Rover and a Fiesta, they both get you from A to B, but they do it in different ways. Yeah. And that's exactly a label, or, a sticker and a label are both the same, really, I guess, but they're different. And a tamper evident one is different again. Yeah. And that's the key, isn't it? So
it's understanding that and where it's useful within your business.
Yeah.
And it's understanding where you can sell it into a customer. And how it can be used within their business to make a good difference.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they can see a return on investment, they're going to invest. It's quite simple.
If in the correct place and put into the supply chain in the right places, these products should only save money.
Correct.
They are going to cost money for you to get those benefits. Yeah. Sadly, that's how every purchase works.
Yeah.
So, and it's we upgrade our lights through the factory and we upgrade different systems, motors and stuff from the old-fashioned ones to the new sort of eco, super-duper, whatever. And, that was a big investment at the time.
Going to LED was a... Whew.
Yeah, but now, every month we see the savings. Yeah. It took our electricity bill, energy bill down by over £1,000 a month now as a continuous level. Yeah. So it was worth that initial investment. And now we're saving money every month. Yeah. And that's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, it's just taking the risk and somebody having the foresight to do that. So it's finding the right person within the business
100%.
Who understands the potential. Yeah. And it isn't just the guys that are going to be putting it on the bag or on the box or on the pallet. Those guys are using it and we're an easy application. We're not looking at changing any of your processes.
Like a big machine.
No, so we're literally, we're either automated or we're manual, but we fit in. We're just replacing.
Either way integrated.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's not an issue. So it's just getting up the hierarchy of the decision makers to understand who knows that this is a problem and who can see for the future that we need a solution.
And because really you need someone that's bothered about the P&L of the business, to be totally honest. Yeah. If you've got
Not just their budget.
Not just their budget, that's the thing, because it's if I put my purchasing head on, it's it's all about saving money. But obviously from my head, it's a bigger picture. It's okay, well, if we spend more here and we get that benefit there, you can piece it together, and it's a big moving jigsaw, of course. Yeah. And you need to be
It crosses so many departments, because it crosses marketing, it crosses purchasing, it crosses security, it crosses supply chain, so it crosses logistics. Yeah. So it's basically finding a person that will be the flag waver and then take it to the next level and say, hey guys, we could do this. Yeah. So from the sales point of view, it's not an easy sell.
It's definitely not.
And we respect that and we recognise that. Yes. Yeah. So that's why we support it the way we do, because it isn't. We respect the difference that you need to explain.
100%, yeah. It will take more time, it will take more effort, it will take more energy, but the rewards will be far, far greater.
Yeah, and it will save time and it will save money.
The benefits, the rewards to you as selling it, and also the rewards to the company buying it will be far greater than anything else. And I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a quick win.
No.
Some of the products that we've been talking about on the podcast are a quicker win. Yeah. And they are
the application of pallet tape is a quick win. You've got a problem. I love the pallet tape.
You do love a pallet tape.
We've been selling this pallet tape for at least 16 years, but a bit of a fun design.
We had a refresh, haven't we? Yeah. But I mean, I think the food labels are a quick win. Yeah. Because you can do them at any level of
you could be a takeaway that does 5 takeaways a night, or you could be thousands and thousands of units.
So you could be a box of food, you could be a chef at your own place. So I think that you could see how you could get into there, that this is a different sell, because you're talking to people that are big companies, that are manufacturers of equipment parts. Yeah. And so therefore our accreditation for you to go in and sell the products is important, and we've got all of those, so we can back you up on that, no problem.
Yeah. So I think when we talk about OEM and genuine parts, like you said, we're talking about the manufacturers. Yeah. And we're not you know, the other things where we've got food delivery and pallets and stuff, we have
and
specific solutions for that. But here, yeah, we talk about manufacturers. So the first product that we've got in our sort of selected specific range are the tool trolley labels.
Okay.
So this actually came from the crash carts from the hospitals.
Yes.
So I don't know what we would call them in the UK. We just call them crash carts.
Well, they're emergency trolleys.
Emergency trolleys, yeah, that's it, yeah. So, basically it's the same solution, but just applied differently. So, you know, if you go into sort of like a car garage or a production line.
Beautiful long, filing cabinets of, yes. So
with
a boy's version of my stationery.
Exactly, yeah. Everything's in its place, and that's where it has to be, and that's how they can do the job so efficiently.
Yes.
And these labels are exactly for those trolleys, so to make sure that
when you finish your shift and you've put everything in your trolley, you just seal it down, and then tomorrow everything's in your trolley.
Yeah, either for the next person or for you the next day, you're ready.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, saving time, therefore saving money, and that's sort of the big thing.
It also stops the finger pointing, because we get that here, don't we? I've put this down on this workbench and it's no longer here, and who's got it?
The thing is, because if you have a code lock, you put your code lock in and then you forget to twist it back, so then everyone knows your code lock. Or you have a key and then you have to carry your keys around.
Oh.
So it's not the ideal situation, really.
And it's a bit more aggressive than just, I've checked, I've left it okay for you, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a much nicer way of doing it.
Yeah, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
So that's where we start, and then we go straight into warranty labels. So yes, the warranty labels are non-residue, writable. We put a white panel on so the writing comes out really nice and clear. And we usually put a dead centre so there's no glue, and then a security cut so it breaks nice and easily upon the drawer opening. Some people choose to have it with or without.
So do they have different numbers on, or are they not unnumbered? Because obviously you've got a number of drawers on these things, haven't you?
Just whatever. I mean, generally on a toolbox you've got one drawer that you have to open to then be able to open the others.
Oh, okay.
So you just secure like the top one, for example, or sometimes it's the bottom, but whatever. So yeah, and then you can have a number or not. Generally, everything we do, we say put a number on. Again, it doesn't cost anything, and it actually gives some level of traceability.
Yeah.
So if you know that you've put on number, 35, and then the next day label number 37's on.
That's what I was just thinking,
clear.
that if they were sort of like easily available within the business.
Yeah. Then the number is good because when you take a photo, it gives like a point of difference. It's a bit like when you sign, what we say is sign and date.
Yes.
So it's clear.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Okay. You may now continue on to the next product. Sorry.
So yeah, warranty labels is the next one. So I think warranty labels is probably something that most people have seen in their day-to-day when we talk about tamper evidence. I mean, they come on a lot of things.
Yes.
A lot of the time you'll see them with like a destruct style label, which we also do, with hologram. Hologram warranty labels. I know that on the sort of like mini tractors that you get, they're hologram labels. Like they're very small, and they're just literally small shiny labels to tell you it's a genuine part, but you can copy these labels.
Okay.
So
because people just buy holograms.
Yeah, so I mean, genuine hologram is obviously very, very expensive.
And takes a very long time to make.
And takes a very long time to make, yeah.
But to the naked eye, in all honesty, a genuine hologram
you're
not. I mean, I've been to a hologram making factory and I was very impressed with the process.
It is impressive, yeah.
And I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And all the different patterns of what they could put in a hologram was amazing.
Yeah.
But unless you're looking for it and you've got a magnifying glass or a UV light or whatever to say that's got all the components that you're looking for.
Yeah.
I recognise holograms are very clever, but I don't think they're the day-to-day solution.
Generally, a hologram is really good in sort of like your bank or government defence.
Exactly,
something
your
like
passport.
That. Passport, really, really serious, because you need like that ultimate level of protection. What we do with hologram is we have a generic hologram, like a broken glass shard, or we've got a new one which is like party poppers, which is very cool. And we print that in a custom pattern.
Yes.
So in the shape of the logo or something like that. And of course, then you've got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you don't have to pay through.
It's a nice way of using it, isn't it? So there's the expectation of I should have a hologram on here.
That's
here
the thing, because they're used to the hologram.
Yeah.
So we're currently working on a warranty label application actually, and it's a lot of labels, but they were using a destruct label with hologram. There was no sort of tamper evidence in the sense that there's no void left.
No.
And because the hologram's all over, you couldn't see what was happening underneath the label.
Yeah.
So, and you can buy these labels on eBay and wherever.
Yeah, of course.
So what we've said is we've gone back, custom void artwork, nice label, hologram printed in the logo of the company.
And I mean, as somebody that likes printing, I have to say, a nice embossed
it's pretty nice.
It does look lovely.
Yeah, it's really good. And so that's sort of our take with it. And then we can add in, your hidden UV print, your numbers, your QR codes, your barcodes. So you can still have everything else on top of that.
Yeah.
Whereas just having sort of an all-over hologram on a label is not really something that we would go to, let's say. So yeah, warranty labels are a big one, of course. The point being that you have your filters, you have we have lamp systems.
And these are the ones that literally go on the box.
Yeah, or the item. Yeah. So a lot of the time it goes on the item. So like if you've got like model tractors, they're ridiculously expensive. And the label goes actually on the item itself.
Okay.
So it's just to say that, okay, this is the genuine part. So a warranty label and genuine parts labels is a bit crossover.
Okay.
On our lamp systems, it's actually on the cassette, the tamper evident label, and if you pull it, obviously it'll leave void message, and then they won't come and service you'll be out of warranty.
Right.
So, and it's the same with tractors. If it's on the filter and the label to get it, you can break it apart.
Yeah.
And then if the label is removed and therefore void, the warranty is void.
So they know that you've been in trying to mend it yourself.
You've been faffing with their stuff.
And therefore it's not my fault.
Yeah, and they don't love that.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
People don't do that. No. Okay, fair enough. Well, that's quite clever then. Okay.
So yeah, warranty labels is a big one. When you see sort of a hologram one.
If you were going to sell that in, would you be looking then to the after sales? Would you be looking for the, from the user experience point of view, for the business? They've made the part, they've sold the part's gone out. The warranty part is a different section again, isn't it?
It is really, because yes, simply it is. Yeah.
So from trying to find how to get in and sell these things, you'd be looking to places that have issues.
Your service centre, your spare parts, and that sort of side of it.
Yeah.
Customer service will know the most about it because they're the ones that will be telling you if your warranty is valid or not.
Absolutely, but also people that are literally setting up the warranties. That if they have got that, they say just scan the QR code to activate your warranty.
Exactly.
Everything is a lot easier, and then if the void is done, the service support engineer can say it's been voided, so the warranty is null and void. But it's very clear. It's a very transparent way of doing business.
And it's a much nicer approach rather than just saying, haha, no.
Can you prove it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's a different section. I'm just thinking for people that are looking to find new ways in to grow their business.
Yeah, it's a different route.
It might be a slightly easier way than the manufacturing side.
I would say so.
Because that's going to be a slower side. So if you could even start at the service and then work backwards with them.
Yeah, when you've demonstrated you've got some good solutions that are saving money at the end of the day. Yeah. And I think if we can start associating buying tamper evidence with saving money, you're going to be, at least 10 steps ahead of most other people.
Absolutely.
So, and that's really the key to the whole message.
And saving issues and protecting your business and your brand.
You're saving money, yes, through pounds and dollars and euros, but you're saving money through time in a lot of cases, and upset. And that, that's equally, if not more, valuable.
Well, we've been looking, haven't we, at different ways of trying to communicate things on our website and what have you. And everybody says the same thing. We're great at customer service, we're good at this, we're good at that, we are your best, we are partners, blah, blah, blah. Those are all great, but they're sort of like a given. They're expected.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's what we expect from our suppliers as well. So I have no issue with that at all. However, if I was going to have a part that was delivered to my garage that actually said I am a genuine part, I would just feel good about that already.
And it's the same thing like back to the tyres, when you've bought like a Bridgestones rather than some Chinese tyre, and you go, okay, well, I look at my car and I've got Bridgestones on, and I know that that's the genuine tyre because I can see on the receipt and this, that and the other. And they obviously tyre labels is a whole separate topic.
Yes.
But it makes you feel better about what you're doing, and that's important, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a comfort factor that's just sort of like underlined, but it makes you feel good about the brand, it makes you feel good about what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like buying diamond rings as well.
Yes.
The traceability all the way through.
Provenance.
Yeah, is really important. And same coming back to watches and all of that, all of these products come into it. Cigars is a conversation I was having yesterday. Apparently there's a massive problem with counterfeit cigars. which is not something that I'm aware of particularly, but you know, apparently this is a huge thing. So we're going to start doing some cigar box labels to obviously secure and demonstrate it's a genuine part.
Yeah, the price difference between some cigars and others are quite high.
Yeah.
But also whatever
the contents of what's in the cigar.
Whatever you're inhaling. Well, I mean, the problem is, isn't it, that we all know that they're not actually great.
Yeah.
But the more pure they are,
the better.
The better they are for you.
Yeah, yeah. And either way, if you're paying, you know, a lot of money for something, you want it to be
Absolutely.
What you're paying for.
Yes, I want to buy what I'm buying.
Yeah. I've made that decision. I'm not going, I'm making this decision for that. So I think that's everything on warranty labels.
Okay, that's fine. Yes.
Yeah, perfect. And then we come through to our main topic in genuine parts, which is the box tape. So
it's a lovely standard one we've got for this. Can I just say I really like this box tape.
And it's actually a linerless label.
It is.
If we're being technical.
Which is also very good for the environment.
So yes, fully recyclable, completely customisable, of course.
And no waste.
No waste. You can add all different things, so it works ambient and cold. You can add thermochromic for hot.
Takes up less space for storage than an average tape.
Yeah.
And costs less to ship around the country because it's only half the product.
So there's your pitch, off you go.
I may have been talking about linerless labels for a while.
Funny. So yeah, the genuine part box tape, funnily enough, is exactly the same as our other box tape. It's just branded differently.
Yeah.
And we put perforations in it, making it a linerless label. Again, so it's sort of versatile. And
that we can do the perforations for automatic and manual as well, can't we?
Yeah, so and generally, you know, when we get into sort of your 150 metre, 200 metre, 600 metre, 900 metre rolls for automated lines, then you don't want perforations because your blade will do it.
Yeah.
But if you're...
Just stop there. Our glue is really non-sticky glue on a blade, so there's very little cleaning done there as well.
Yeah. So if you have got an automated application integration, then just let us know. We have a few
That's not easy to say,
no,
is it?
It's harder than I expected. We have a few sort of tips and tricks and things that you'll want from us to make that process easy, basically. But yeah, just get a roll of our tape and put it on a tape gun and have a go with it. You'll see straight away. That's the best way. See it for yourself. But yeah, these lineless labels are so they work on all different size boxes, plastic, cardboard, all different things. If you've got a crate that you're shipping something in, so wooden or on a pallet, as in you need to secure the wood section, which is more for like your art and stuff like that. Yeah. Then we have a special solution
machines,
for that.
particularly going out to America, have to go in a wooden crate.
Yeah, and any machinery that we get delivered to us all arrives in crates also.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a different solution for that. So you do need to just let us know if it's a wooden application, because sometimes if it's smooth wood like this, then anything normal will stick. But if it's like your standard,
basically looks like rough pallets.
It's really.
I think it's called untreated wood.
Yes, splinter heaven.
Yeah. Yes. I can't even get a normal document label to stick on it.
No, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah. So yeah, they usually staple them on.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have got tape that works on them to secure them, but you will need to mask. So yeah, secure genuine parts tape. The real key here is that we've made a genuine parts tape / linerless label. Yeah. So when you go into these environments with the customers, you've got something already customised.
Absolutely.
It's got like a trolley and you've got like gears and stuff in it. But the point being, you can see how detailed the print is and how small the print is.
And you can have a picture and you can have words and you can see that the subsurface message, etc. So it's just so that you can show the customer when you're in front of them an item that actually resonates with them.
Yeah, because it's just going in with like our infamous DR357, which has been copied worldwide, but we still have the best. Is a red tape with security seal and a number. And if you're going in a genuine...
Also available in blue.
Yeah, green as well. Then you want to go into, a customer with an appropriate sample and talk in their language. Exactly. That's what we would want as a buyer, so that's what they will want as well. So yeah, that's the key to it, really. And then of course the pallet tape, probably don't need to talk about it too much. Hopefully if you're listening, you've already heard me talk about this quite a lot. But yeah, it goes on black or clear wrap. It's 30 millimetres wide by 15 metres on a roll. So it basically means that one roll equals one pallet. If you generally sort of do half height pallets, then just let us know and we'll adjust the length down a bit. Same number through the roll, so you've got that traceability. The big thing here is for customs. I mean, you will cruise through customs without any repacking sagas and being held for 5 weeks.
The trouble is, when they get repacked at customs, to be perfectly honest, the custom officers are not there to do the packaging. Yeah. And so they take boxes off, they look into things. Putting things back as they found them isn't really their thing. because they're moving on to the next one, in all honesty.
We took a box of tapes to the airport the other day to get shipped so it was quicker. And they opened the box in front of us and they're like, what's this? And we're like, security tape. Like, okay. Just like, okay. We're like,
yeah. Shall I show you the video?
Yeah. And then they basically took because everyone listening probably heard but seen, but basically the boxes are really, really secure and the packaging locks in between the rolls so they can't, get damaged anywhere as they go around the world. And we are often complimented on our boxes and how safe the rolls are. But when you haven't seen it before, this person basically pulled the silts out the top so she could get a roll. And then she's about to start like doing things with it. I was like, 1 minute, this is going to make a right mess all over your bench. I think this is the security tape. We're not the problem here.
Yeah.
Anyway, she just threw it back in. She didn't care. And I was like, hang on a minute, let me repack it because you've just made this look rubbish.
Yeah.
And it's going to a customer.
Yeah.
But that's the point. They don't care.
It's not their thing.
It's unbelievable. Even in front of you.
So you literally don't want them to do that?
No.
To anything?
Please, especially a pallet. That would be really a lot worse.
So we had some goods shipped out to Kuala Lumpur years ago. And we had happened, because the customer was so excited about their order, we'd taken a photograph before it left here, which was unusual at the time.
Which we now do for every single one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we sent it off and we waved it off down the road and off it trolleyed. And when the customer got it, the photograph they sent back, it was a before and after of hell. It was like it had been... Every box had been taken off the pallet, had been put back on in the different directions. They'd put some banding round it. There was no pallet wrap on it anymore at all. And it was on the back of a flatbed lorry, which didn't help the picture. And of course, it'd been through many weathers and the box's cardboard had not loved the many weathers. And the customer was like, what have you done? And we were like, well, this is how it left us. It was like, oh my lord.
Some of the things that you see, literally a pallet, if you're like on a base like this, they can get the goods like at an angle.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
You open a corner too quickly and the boxes went with it.
It's really odd. So basically, point being, apply the pallet tape and don't worry about your stuff getting checked. And same for boxes. If you apply the box tape, the tamper evident box tape saying security sealed with a number on, then at least you can prove that it's not been tampered or changed since you packed it.
And if you take a photograph of your goods as they're leaving and they've got pallet tape on next to the delivery note with the number on the pallet tape, it's like you just said earlier about it's the date and sign. It's just belt and braces and it just
absolutely.
Works.
And again, that's the thing. So if we're talking about saving money, pay £10 for a roll of pallet tape, but which we don't sell it for that, by the way. It's less from us. So yeah, you pay. Say it costs £10 to secure it with the pallet tape, but then you've lost 5 weeks, and you've got an angry customer.
And customs charge for storage.
Yeah, they charge a lot for storage.
That's a bit cheeky, I think. Yes. Yeah. Yes, we don't know what it is, so we put it on one side, and now we're going to charge you.
Yeah, pretty much. It's crazy.
Till you can explain to us in a foreign language, in another country, at a different time zone, what it is.
Our recent one is they decided that the commodity codes are different to what we say.
Oh.
We've used the same commodity code.
Have they
Funny
changed?
enough, because we've made the same products for the last 20 years. So we've used the same commodity code to go with that. No, they'd come up with 3 different ones.
Okay.
Just decided.
Okay.
So, the highlights for that is that they're all the same thing.
Yeah.
So, but point being that you need to use the pallet security tape, use the box tape just to demonstrate that, as custom checks are getting a lot more stringent and a lot more frequent.
And the problem is that there's a lack of experience in that sector now as well. Yeah. There's quite a high turnover of, they call it churn. And
these people do not care.
No.
Honestly, you're like writing a letter saying, please, let the goods go. And they're like, no. I do not care. It doesn't make any difference. This is
not a me problem.
Yeah, this is a you problem. So yeah, if we've started doing it now on our shipments going out, we apply the pallet tape. So yeah, anyone that if you're getting a delivery from us, you'll see the pallet tape on it. And we're just working out how to do the box tape so you guys can then reuse the boxes, obviously reselling. So all the pallets that we ship out are being secured because it's too faffy. Yeah. And it's just not worth it.
It's a job done then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Gave myself a good price.
Did you? Oh, I am pleased. Discount for quantity.
Discount for quantity, yeah. Funny. And on that note, that's the end of our podcast today. So yeah, any questions, get in touch. We're here as always. Please ask questions, ask for samples.
We've got the genuine parts tape for this one, and of course a roll of the pallet.
I'm happy to come along customer meetings, with under your customer name, anything to help basically. So yeah, have a good week and see you soon.
Cheers.